Jiang Mubai became a vicious male supporting character in the fantasy world 5 years ahead of schedule, and the system tells him that he will eventually fall into the hands of the destined son. But fortunately, Golden Finger is too awesome. Play the role of a mortal for 1 year, reward the cultivation of spiritual transformation period, play as a mortal for 3 years, reward divine fire period cultivation, play as a mortal for 5 years, reward the saint's cultivation, activate the heavenly destiny villain system, play over. A 17-year-old saint. The plot officially began, and Jiang Mubai decided not to be low-key anymore, but he didn't know that all the male leads in this world had been reborn. I will take back everything I lost in my previous life. Afterwards, there was a significant change in the art style, even a mere early-stage male supporting character dares. Sleeping in a slot and swallowing strange fire, don't come over. At the age of 17, I don't know how to solve the problem of Little Black for the Great Eucharist. Half-step Emperor, Xiaohaozi, do you call this a male supporting character? Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 2, Son of Destiny, Do Not Bully the Poor Youth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As expected, the system also informed him of what was going to happen in the future. In the near future, he would go crazy to add himself as the Saint of the Cloud Xuanzong, but the other party didn't bother him at all. Even so, he had a grudge with the Son of Destiny because of this heavenly Empress, and the result was self-evident. The protagonist repeatedly slapped him in the face, eventually becoming a stepping stone in being crushed. It's not easy to travel through this, how could it just be so easy? Don't you have a system yourself? After Jiang Mubai learned about it, he was also stunned at the time. This system is called the Play the Mortal system, which only requires doing ordinary small things every day, such as fishing, cooking, washing clothes, taking walks. You can get rich cultivation rewards the next day by listening to music on Gulen. And every year, there will be additional rewards for more cultivation. He just didn't expect that the system would be so abnormal, and 5 years of rewards would directly transform him from a weak chicken in the blood realm to a saint's existence. You need to know the Holy Land. Although this is a special transitional realm, the initial mana is unstable and will fluctuate between the divine fire realm and the heavenly god realm. After cultivation, it will be completely stable, and if it can flow smoothly in the future, can withstand the divine king's calamity. Stable and powerful. The key is that in his memory, the entire Great Flame dynasty was a rare existence, definitely a secure ceiling of combat power in the early stage. This is equivalent to being invincible in the early stage. And most importantly, he is only 17 years old, a 17-year-old Holy Land. When this news is sent out, I'm afraid the old monsters from those ancient families in the eastern wilderness will come out to rob people. Realm division. Blood moving, heavenly cave, spirit transformation, inscription, marquee, venerable, divine fire, true one, sage, heavenly god, slaying me, supreme, true immortal, immortal king, quasi-emperor, immortal emperor, at the same time. The sound of the system rings again. Ding, the mortal system has been used up. Thank you for being with us for the past 5 years. Goodbye, host. Goodbye. Are you leaving now? I'm not invincible yet. System, even if you insist on leaving, leave some immortal king skills and supernatural powers behind. Jiang Mubai cursed in his mind with displeasure. In the past 5 years, although the system has rewarded a lot of cultivation, there have been no divine powers or techniques, and now Jiang Mubai can only level A. What is the form of a saint who doesn't know supernatural powers? Immediately after, another mechanical sound of the pattern sounded. Ding, the heavenly destiny villain system has been automatically bound. Jiang Mubai's information also emerged. Name: Jiang Mubai. Age: 17. Realm: Early Holy Realm. Identity: Young chief of the Jiang family in Tianyan City. Skill: Currently unavailable divine power. Currently unavailable destiny value. 0 remaining lottery attempts. 0. The sudden change left Jiang Mubai stunned for a moment. The antagonistic system. Destiny value. As for the way to obtain the heavenly destiny value, Jiang Mubai had read countless texts in his past life, and of course knew that he needed to obtain it from the Son of Heavenly Destiny. Jiang Mubai immediately recalled that the system had once said that he should have been a disciple of the Cloud Xuanzong sect 3 years ago, admired the Holy Maiden of the upper sect, and met the Son of Destiny about 6 months later to become a disciple of the sect. The plot officially began. He has been staying on the mountain for years, playing the role of a mortal to receive rewards. The members of his family believe that he has wasted his talent, so the spot for joining the Cloud Xuanzong was given to his licking dog cousin Jiang Yang. If I remember correctly, the system once said that that kid seems to be in the middle stage of his spiritual transformation, and it will take more than half a year for him to appear at the Yunxian sect's recruitment ceremony for disciples. This I can't be considered as bullying him, he has great luck to protect him. Jiang Mubai smiled slightly at this thought. The host activates the Heavenly Destiny villain system for the first time, and rewards. 1 letter from the Son of the 10,000 Realms Heavenly Destiny, with a ding sound. A golden light flashed through Jiang Mubai's mind, followed by a detailed ranking list of the Sons of the 10,000 Realms Heavenly Destiny. 001, Xiaohao, the Son of Mythological Destiny. A grain of dust can fill the sea, and a blade of grass can cut through the sun, moon, and stars. With a flick of his finger, the sky and earth are overturned. Heroes rise together, thousands of tribes stand, and the saints compete for supremacy. The heavens and earth are in chaos. Ask the vast earth, who governs the ups and downs. A young man walks out of the wilderness, and everything starts from here. Other information can be found, 999999 Heavenly Destiny Values, 002, Yi Wushuang, the mythological son of the Heavenly Destiny, climbing the heavenly road, singing and walking, and using his fingers to cover the sky. Other information check, 77,777 Heavenly Destiny Values, 003, Han Iran. Gusha. 031, Xiao Ming, the legendary son of the Heavenly Destiny, 30 years old in Hedong and 30 years old in Heshi. Don't deceive young people into poverty. Other information can be viewed. Jiang Mubai stared at the letter in his mind for a moment. Damn it. Only by killing my destined son together can we rank 31st. Is he so trash? 0999, Tang San. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Wildfire cannot burn out, cutting grass requires uprooting. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The two brothers in black shook their bodies at the same time, their pupils suddenly filled with blood. They didn't even say a word, and in an instant, they flew into ashes. There's not even a speck left. Only the residual bloody smell in the air remains. If given a chance to start over, they will definitely say, "We didn't touch your corn. It was that woman who cut it with one sword. This is too weak." Jiang Mubai pursed his lips. At first, he just wanted to control the other person's questioning. After all, he only understood the general idea while listening to the conversation between both parties. The brothers in black came to arrest him, and this woman was sent by the Jiang family to protect him. Later, he turned to look at Qingyue, who was still in a daze, and asked, what happened to the Jiang family? The main hall of the Jiang family. A heavy breath filled the surroundings. Standing on both sides were figures from the branches of the Jiang family, while outside the main hall were all the younger generations of the Jiang family. At this time, the Jiang family, regardless of age, some were panicked and some were secretly excited, with different attitudes. Outside the Jiang family, many figures were hidden around and made shocking sounds. The Jiang family is going to change weather. Yeah, who would have thought that since Jiang Yang could have the support of the holy maiden of Yunxian sect, Jiang Lao thief wouldn't have lost unjustly. The saint of Yunxuanzong is known for her jealousy of evil as if she were enemies. Coincidentally, the Jiang family has a lot of leverage. If it weren't for this, he would have thought that with just a little help from him in the secret realm, she could have come forward. Oh. You know a lot, old ghost. That's natural, but Jiang Laogui was too restrained this time. The rise of that family was not stained with blood, so naturally it was full of evil. In the end, this disaster was also caused by that kid. If he had gone to Yunxian sect 5 years ago, then these things would have happened. Jiang Tai also refused to listen to advice and doted on that kid too much. If I were to let him go, I would have tied him up with Yunxian sect. Yeah, when it's over inside, we'll go pay homage to the new mountain lord. That's natural, all the old gifts are ready. It's truly you. On the main hall, Jiang Yang looked down at the front with a righteous expression on his face. Jiang Tai, over the years, the Jiang family has been extremely domineering in Tianyan City. How many weak people have been killed and how many resources have been seized by any means? What are you guilty of? Sin. A purple-robed old man standing in the center of the main hall showed a hint of mockery, his breath withered, his face pale, and there was still a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. Obviously, he was forcefully suppressed after just making a move. This world is already a world of the fittest. What's wrong with me? If I'm really guilty, it's just not strong enough. Jiang Tai said calmly, while his spare time glanced at the beautiful woman sitting on the left side of the main hall. Nowadays, he is indifferent to life and death, and the only regret is that he did not see his grandson in the end. And the stunning woman she saw sitting upright on the chair, her ethereal skirt and jacket wrapped in silk, exuding a delicate and alluring figure, especially her slender thighs. The blue butterfly coat covers fair skin. Blue stripes around the perimeter, but upon closer inspection, a dim blue light appears. The crystal-clear inverted earrings hang down. The only daughter of the contemporary patriarch of Yunxuanzong, the younger generation of Yunxuanzong who carried the cauldron, is known as one of the 4 major demons of the Great Flame Dynasty Yunxuang. Her gaze was also fixed on the old man, and she frowned slightly upon hearing the other person's words. Uncle Yu, it seems that Jiang Tai has indeed committed many evil deeds. After hearing the message, the old servant behind him smiled and replied, the saint has a kind heart, but Jiang Yang's mind is not so pure. I know I'm not that stupid yet, but he gave me the medicinal herb I needed in the secret realm at that time, which was a small favor. In addition, the Jiang family is indeed domineering in Tianyan City, so I helped him. If he has any ulterior motives in the future, I killed him with my own hands. At this moment. Jiang Yang sneered and said, that sounds good. Back then, your grandson Jiang Mubai only had a grudge against others and you had them destroy their entire clan. It was simply cruel. Wildfire cannot burn out, cutting grass requires rooting. What a ruthless person. Jiang Yang snorted coldly, his eyes turning cold. His spiritual power condensed in his body, and there were faint signs of his sword being unsheathed in his hand. Then Jiang Yang will act on behalf of heaven today and give justice to those who died tragically in Tianyan City. Upon hearing this, Jiang Tai did not speak, but stared calmly at Jiang Yang. Old clan leader, if you want to blame it, you can only blame your grandson for being useless. Don't worry, I will manage this Jiang family well. One day, I will leave Tianyan City. And leave the Dian dynasty, Jiang Yang chuckled. Just you. Jiang Tai sneered. Upon hearing the mocking look in Jiang Yang's eyes, he sneered and whispered, I'm not dead, I hope you can still be so tough when I kill Jiang Mubai in front of you later. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5, Legendary Heavenly Destiny Empress, Wants Your Fate 3. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Jiang Yang, you're looking for death. Jiang Tai was furious and his face instantly turned red, but his body was restricted and he couldn't move at all. At the same time, the young disciple of the main lineage outside the main hall of the Jiang family let out a thud in his heart. It's over. The next moment, Jiang Mubai's figure appeared outside the gate of the Jiang family, with Qingyue carrying a sword behind her. At this moment, the shock in her eyes was incredibly strong. Just now, after she told the whole story of Jiang Yang's incident, Jiang Mubai waved his hand and took a few breaths, and she appeared directly outside the gate of the Jiang family. They still have 100 miles away from the Jiang family. He has never heard of any body technique or supernatural ability that can cross 100 miles with just a few breaths. What realm is this? However, soon after, Qingyue regained her senses and urgently said, Jiang, young clan leader, it is not wise to confront the holy maiden of Yunxian's sect at this time. With the talent of the young clan, there will definitely be a chance to kill him in the future. In her opinion, no matter how divine Jiang Mubai appeared before, she could never be a match for the holy maiden of Yunxian's sect. Because that is one of the strongest 4 young people in the entire Dian dynasty. Moreover, there are even more powerful guardians beside her. How could a 17-year-old boy possibly be defeated? However, before she could speak, she noticed that Jiang Mubai had walked straight into the Jiang family. As soon as he appeared, all the young disciples of the Jiang family's gaze fell on him. Silence. Silent. Wow. Who is this person? He's so handsome. The voice of a female disciple rang out. His aura is ethereal, just like a fairy. Don't say this person seems a bit familiar to you. Familiar. Isn't that Commander Qingyue? After catching up with Qingyue, she could only let out a long sigh in her heart. Alas, that's all. I hope the young people can find a way to escape. Immediately, she glanced at the crowd and said sternly, what are you all staring at? Why don't you pay respects to the young clan leader? Young clan leader. Jiang Mubai. He is Jiang Mubai, who went crazy to farm in the mountains 5 years ago. I don't know who shouted this, and the crowd immediately exploded. 5 years ago, everyone believed that Jiang Mubai must have had a mental problem, otherwise no normal person could have gone to farm and wasted a bright path. I'll go, why did he suddenly come back without growing rice? How dare he choose today? This is a bit too tragic, isn't it? Yeah, if someone goes crazy, it's okay. The first time they go down the mountain, they'll go crazy. This. In the main hall, Jiang Yang, who was preparing to take action, heard the shouting outside and his face was filled with joy. It seems they have succeeded. The next second, his pupils shrank, and a tingling sensation surged in his heart, causing his hands to tremble uncontrollably. This was a deep-seated fear. That figure walked step by step to the outer perimeter and entered the main hall, a distance of several tens of meters. 5 years. 5 whole years. He still couldn't shake off the fear depicted in his soul. When Jiang Mubai appeared, Yun Xuan was just a little surprised. She didn't expect that the cruel and useless cousin Jiang Yang mentioned would be so June. But the old servant behind her frowned. He didn't see through the young man's cultivation level. Xiao Bai. Jiang Tai looked at the newcomer and was momentarily stunned, then gritted his teeth and cursed, Qingyue, you trash. Qingyue, who was standing behind Jiang Mubai, lowered her head and admitted her mistake, I'm sorry, clan chief, I couldn't stop Xiao Before she could finish speaking, she saw Jiang Mubai walk up to Jiang Tai and, in the other person's shocked eyes, lift the restriction inside his body before whispering, "Old man, you first find a cool place to sit for a while." Ah! Jiang Tai felt a little confused. Is this child asking me to take a seat? Has he not figured out the current situation yet? Has his condition worsened? Immediately, Jiang Tai looked at Jiang Mubai with some heartache. In his eyes, he also felt that Jiang Mubai must have had a mental problem. Over the years, he secretly found many drugs mixed in the meals sent to Jiang Mubai Mountain, but they had no effect. What are you doing looking at me like this? Can't you sense your physical condition yourself? Upon hearing this, Jiang Tai's body trembled. Prohibition, is it gone? Subsequently, Jiang Mubai glanced at the woman sitting in Zhuozhe and suddenly her eyes lit up. What beautiful legs! Is she the woman I was destined to lick? TSK, not bad, not bad. These legs are really strong enough. Feeling this naked gaze, Yun Shuang's face turned cold. Humph. Another color embryo. At the same time, a systematic sound rang out in Jiang Mubai's mind. Ding, infuriate the legendary Heavenly Destiny Empress Yun Shuang, reward Heavenly Destiny value. 100 points, first time provoking the female protagonist, additional reward pill. Take your life for 3 days. Hello everyone, Chinese New Year. If you can provide some data, please give it to me. If there are any saved manuscripts, I will send them out immediately. The new book is not easy now, let me see if anyone has read it. Thank you Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7, I guess at least the Venerable has. You are listening at novel full.audio. A scream instantly echoed throughout the entire Jiang family hall, and everyone, including the old servant, froze in place. They can't believe what they saw. I'll wipe it. Jiang Tai couldn't help but curse. And at this moment, Yun Shuang, who was caught on the weak spot, suddenly felt the sky collapse. A wave of shame that never existed in a previous life surged in my heart. What is her identity? From childhood to adulthood, no man has ever dared to make any outrageous behavior towards her, let alone now. What made her feel even more ashamed was that since it was crispy and numb, it was a bit comfortable. This is simply shameful. At this moment, she only has one thought. That's killing Jiang Mubai. I'm going to kill you. Yun Shuang trembled and shouted angrily, with some kind of restraint in her body showing signs of breaking. Her spiritual power also increased several times, and she slowly squeezed Jiang Mubai's elbow, then looked at him fiercely. But she found that no matter how much spiritual power was unleashed, it could not shake Jiang Mubai at all. This not only angered her, but also deeply shocked her. You should know that she was a strong figure in the early days of the feudal lords, with her strength capable of reaching mountains, and she was even more outstanding among them. The technique stops this here, Jiang Mubai said with a faint smile. Upon hearing this, Yun Shuang felt even more ashamed. Her silver teeth were almost biting apart, and the seal inside her body began to loosen completely. Jiang Mubai, I'm fighting with you. Suddenly, an ancient golden rune appeared on Yun Shuang's eyebrows, while at the same time her temperament changed greatly, and her eyes gradually became cold and ruthless. Is this a reincarnation print? Jiang Mubai squinted his eyes and guessed. At the same time, the old servant behind him saw such a change and his face changed dramatically, shouting, "Saint, do not forcefully move the seal." The next second, he burned his divine soul and instantly burst out with extraordinary strength. His figure flashed and his speed was extremely fast, making it impossible for the naked eye to see clearly. He appeared directly on the left side of Yun Shuang, but not to attack Jiang Mubai. Instead, He pulled Yunshuang and silently recited an ancient spell in his mouth. Little Qiankuan talisman, move. I saw ripples rippling in the space where the two stood, click. Space fragmentation. The brilliant golden light instantly filled the entire hall of the Jiang family, and everyone was blinded by the light. Jiang Mubai was stunned for a moment, feeling the tactile sensation gradually disappearing from his hands. He then regained his senses and looked at the two of them, who were emitting a dazzling golden light. He raised his eyebrows and grabbed them forward suddenly, achieving nothing. Before the spatial cracks merged, Yun Shuang's roar came out. Jiang Mubai, wait for me. Are you running away now? Move symbol. Damn it. It's all because the ghost system doesn't even give me any spatial powers, otherwise I'll be in a holy realm and they'll be able to sneak under my nose. Jiang Mubai was very upset about the system. Perhaps there is only one holy realm in the world that one does not understand the laws of space. Forget it, I have to go to Yunxian sect anyway. If I can run, the monk can't run to the temple. All of this happened between lightning and flint. By the time everyone in the Jiang family hall came to their senses, Yun Shuang and the old servant had already disappeared, leaving only a white robe. Silence. Silent. At this moment, Qinyue had already been shocked beyond measure, looking at Jiang Mubai's back with only a strong expression of respect and fear. Jiang Tai, standing beside him, was all excited and said with tears streaming down his face, "My Jiang family Qilin has the talent of a sage." The younger generation outside the main hall of the Jiang family made deafening noises. Sleeping slot. I'm not mistaken, are we young people so fierce? I stepped on Jiang Yang and killed that bastard with just 1 foot. How dare you? How dare you deal with the saint of Yunshuanzong? What a fierce person. Anyway, my only idol in the future will be the young clan leader. By the way, weren't these people from these branches shouting loudly just now, hee hee? The people from the branches who followed Jiang Yang were all as pale as ashes, until they knelt down and began begging for mercy. Outside the Jiang family, those hidden people swallowed their saliva and could see the shock in each other's faces as they looked at each other, then showed a bitter smile. Jiang Laogui is really hiding deep enough. If I had known your Jiang family Qilin was so amazing, we could have brought your shoes. I just don't know what he did to that saint. Would Yun Xuanzong do that? Are you saying that? Hey, you're still worried about chicken feathers. Anyone who has a brain in the head of Yunxian sect will definitely recruit Jiang Mubai. Can the Dian dynasty still find this talent and strength? What kind of realm do you think that kid has? I can't tell, I guess. At least the Venerable has it. Hiss. The realm of 17-year-old reverence. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8, Your grudge may only be on his bed. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Thousands of miles away. Click. Click. A space suddenly shattered in the sky, and 2 figures stepped out in a somewhat disheveled manner. It was Uncle Yu, the old servant, and Yun Shuang, the saint of Yunshuanzong. At this moment, Yun Shuang's face was full of killing intent, and there were still sparkling tears at the corners of her eyes. Her blush had not completely dissipated, and she kept muttering revenge. The old servant, on the other hand, had a feeling of surviving a disaster. That last catch, the old servant knew that the last time he caught that kid had already shown a murderous intent, and he didn't just want to keep them. I almost scared him out of his wits. The space is shaking. What kind of realm is this TM in? That kid is at least the strongest one who ignites the peak of divine fire, he could be even stronger. This matter must be reported to the sect leader as soon as possible. With this thought in mind, Uncle Yu glanced at Yun Shuang, who was no longer as steady as before, and shook his head helplessly. Holy Lady, if that kid is really at the peak of divine fire, your hatred may be. I'm afraid you can only report it in his bed. The words are divided into two parts. The Yen Dynasty, Monster Mountain Range. Central Region. Boom boom. The mountains and forests are shaking, and groups of giant beasts such as dragon-horned elephants, fire rhinoceroses, biao, kuei beasts, leopards. The roar of these beasts is deafening, and the weakest of these beasts also have the strength of this inscription realm. The strongest has approached the Venerable in terror. Many ancient trees have been smashed, leaves are scattered, and huge rocks are rolling. The earth is shaking and the scenery is terrifying. And in the midst of this group of monster beasts flickering with a nimble human figure, the targets of these monster beasts are also very clear. It is this young man of the human race who looks only 17 or 18 years old. This young man was dressed in black, with a slender body in a delicate appearance. His face was calm and composed, and his painted black eyes had a brilliant luster surging, appearing unusually gentle and profound. He carried a black ruler diagonally on his back. On its forehead, there is a flame mark, presenting many brilliant colors. As the young man in black was about to fall into the encirclement of monsters. With a loud bang. A scorching spiritual power erupted in an instant. On the surface of the body of the black-clothed green, a brilliant flame was burning fiercely. From a distance, it looked like a flame god controlling the flames, full of inexplicable pressure. And his speed has also been greatly improved. In just a few breaths, he rushed out of the circle of monsters and disappeared into the sky, leaving only some raging monsters in place. For a long time. In a quiet cave. The young man in black slowly opened his tightly closed eyes and exhaled a heavy mouthful of turbid energy. At this moment, his eyebrows were filled with an invincibility, and his previously depleted spiritual power also returned in double form. The inscription is in its later stage. Faster than the previous life, I don't know how many levels. At this moment in his previous life, he has only entered the realm of spiritual transformation, and it is far from possible to condense the mark of the flame god. Xiao Ming felt the flourishing spiritual power in his body and smiled with satisfaction. Then he looked into the sky outside the cave, as if he remembered something. His gaze became very determined, and he clenched his fist. I must take back everything I lost in my previous life this time. At the same time, a phantom figure floated behind the young man in black, who was an old man wearing a white robe, with long sleeves fluttering and an old face. At this moment, Yao Chen was looking at the young man in black with an appreciative gaze, and his heart was shaken. At the age of 17, in the later stage of the inscriptions, I was only one step away from stepping into the ranks of a prince and becoming a king. This is simply unbelievable. Throughout the entire Great Flame Dynasty, perhaps only those demons can achieve it. It seems that all the rebirth he told me before about this kid is true. Yes, there is no teenager who can master advanced alchemy proficiently. Every time he faces danger, he is so calm, and his magical powers at any time make him feel shocked. He regarded the flame god technique as a precious treasure, and the opponent successfully cultivated it with just one glance. And the most important thing is that this kid always seems like an prophet, knowing where there is a treasure, just like when he came to the central area of the Monster Mountain Range. You should know that this is a place he didn't dare to step on even during his peak period. This kid, I don't know how to keep such a big secret. He has lived a lifetime for nothing, really stupid. Thinking of this, Yao Chen couldn't help but smile with relief. Teacher, why are you giggling there? Xiao Ming noticed the old man beside him and asked. It's nothing. Thinking of some past events, Yao Chen waved his hand and smiled, then asked, by the way, Xiao, you also took the demon beast inner pill. Where are we going next? The Yen Dynasty, Yun Xian sect. Xiao Ming replied softly, but a woman's face appeared in his mind. In the previous life, I was unable to be honest with you, and even on the brink of death, I never broke a layer of paper. I will not miss this life again. Frost. Wait for me. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6, Holding the World with One Hand, Destiny. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Can the heavenly destiny value also be obtained from the heavenly destiny Empress? Jiang Mubai was stunned for a moment, then showed a hint of a wicked smile. How embarrassed this makes me at this moment. Jiang Yang, who had finally adjusted, took a deep breath and smiled coldly at the figure in front of him. Today has finally arrived. It's time for Jiang Mubai to make a decision. He felt a little excited at the thought of Jiang Mubai kneeling in front of him begging for mercy. Jiang Mubai, now that your grandfather has confessed to everything over the years, why don't you kneel down together and wait for the downfall? As soon as he finished speaking, before he could react, he only felt the earth spinning and an unparalleled pressure pressing him directly to the ground. Like a dead dog, just like in the past. Creak, creak. The immense pressure broke Jiang Yang's bones and muscles, and blood donation instantly covered his body surface. However, under this boundless pain, Jiang Yang couldn't even shout out. And his heart has already been turned upside down. This is impossible. How could this be possible? How could he be so strong? It's definitely not his strength, it's definitely not. Who is it? Who the hell is helping him out? But the next second, Jiang Yang's mood completely plummeted to the bottom, because his remaining light saw the towering saint in the sect, her head covered in the sea, looking at Jiang Mubai like an enemy, with not only shock but also a hint of fear in her eyes. This sudden change happened in the blink of an eye. The entire hall fell into silence both inside and outside. Jiang Tai beside him widened his eyes and looked at the disdainful figure with disbelief. Next second, Jiang Mubai took a few steps forward without paying any attention to him. Instead, he stepped on Jiang Yang's face with one foot and chuckled lightly, "Is that all?" Ding, congratulations to the host for shocking the heavenly destiny Empress Yun Shuang. Reward heavenly destiny value. 500 points. At this moment, Jiang Yang felt the killing intent of Jiang Mubai, and his defense line completely collapsed. He exhausted all his strength and said, "You can't kill me. I am a disciple of the Yunxian sect's inner sect. If you kill my sect, I won't let you go." However, Jiang Mubai gave a faint smile and exerted a slight force under his feet. Bang! Jiang Yang instantly turned into a mist of blood, and before his death, there was not only fear in his eyes, but also a hint of disbelief. He didn't expect to die. The old servant behind Yun Shuang, on the other hand, mobilized all his spiritual power to bear the pressure and shook his heart. He arched his hand and smiled, saying, "Little friend, could you please let go of your breath first? Who exactly is this son? What a demon came out of that fight? What and who exactly does this ancient pressure come from? He certainly doesn't believe that this is the other party's own strength. Just kidding. What level of authority is there to have? Start in the realm of reverence. A 17-year-old venerable. It's completely impossible. However, even so, if the other party can use this power, they must also make him take it seriously, let alone protect the virgin." The next second, his face darkened and he thought to himself, "It's broken." He immediately mobilized all the spiritual power in his body, pulling the talisman paper, but on the surface, he quickly advised, "Young man, you can't use it. You have this strength, but taking it slow doesn't mean you have no chance at all. Why come hard?" However, Jiang Mubai only gave him a faint glance. Boom! The old servant was suddenly struck by lightning, his body suddenly retreated a big step, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. However, compared to the injuries inside his body, what frightened the old servant was this young man. Who the hell is he? This is no longer the strength that the Venerable realm can demonstrate. The strength that can seriously injure me just by looking at me. Even the Lord cannot do it. when he fell into shock. "What do you want to do?" Yun Xuan gritted her silver teeth and coldly looked at the man's face, which was only a finger away, with a sharp voice. However, her heart was very flustered, and her heart was tense. She is now at her limit under this pressure and has moved a little. Ding, make the heavenly destiny maiden feel nervous, reward the heavenly destiny value. 500 points. Looking at Yun Xuan in front of him like a frightened rabbit, Jiang Mubai just smiled and then said, "What do I want to do? The saint is so smart, why don't you guess?" As he spoke, Jiang Mubai's gaze shifted downwards and swept over the towering peak. Finally, his gaze fell on the rolling shutter door and he chuckled, "Good legs. How dare you?" Yun Xuan's face instantly turned red and he said angrily. However, Jiang Mubai responded to him with action, gripping the world with one hand and squeezing it hard, revealing a satisfied expression. Ding, the host successfully caused the Destiny Daughter to collapse, and the first step was to green the Destiny Daughter. The reward for Destiny is 2,000 points. Ah! Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. After thousands of years, my Jiang family has produced a. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Upon hearing the constant sound of rewards and introductions from the system, Jiang Mubai smiled and felt a new emotion. If I had known earlier, I would have brushed more heavenly destiny points. It seems that going to Yun Xian's sect must be as fast as possible. Then he whispered, "Extract the reward." Boom! A mysterious aura suddenly came towards Jiang Mubai, and his originally pitch-black pupils were shrouded in dense runes, causing the space around him to gradually distort. Dong! A sound of the great road that only Jiang Mubai could hear echoed in his ears. Boom boom! Jiang Mubai only felt that the spiritual power inside his body had undergone earth-shattering changes, gradually merging with this world. The power of the Tao seems to be right beside him. Buzz! A series of golden halos appeared on his surface, particularly dazzling, enveloping the entire room in just an instant. The next moment, the golden light turns into a long river and rushes straight into the clouds. Boom! The entire sky seems to be torn apart by this golden river. In the blink of an eye, a flawless and brilliant golden light shines on the city of Tianyan. This dazzling golden halo is incredibly sacred, shining brightly. The aura of a saint permeates the entire Jiang family, making people fearful. An ancient and majestic figure evolved, with its back to all beings, and descended upon the sky above the Jiang family. Each of these ancient figures exudes an indescribable aura of fear, unlike those found in the mortal world, as if they come from the ethereal realm of immortality, evoking worship from the depths of the soul. They are ancient and distant beings. Do not look directly at me. No offense allowed. At this moment, the disciples and elders who were still discussing today's matter looked up at the golden sky like ants. What terrible oppression! I can't bear it anymore. Hiss. Is it that the young clan leader is about to soar? Sleeping slot, really fake. An elderly elder shouted, "Be cautious." At this moment, Jiang Tai, who was discussing how to talk to Yun Xuanzong in the main hall, walked out of the hall with the accompaniment of Qin Yu. He looked at the sky and murmured in disbelief, then knelt down on the ground with a burst of laughter, tears streaming down his face. Ha ha ha. Saint's breath, this is Saint's breath. Patriarch, open your eyes and see, after thousands of years, our Jiang family has produced a young sage. And Qin Yu looked up at the sky with a terrifying appearance, trembling all over. Hiss. Jiang Tai's voice was loud and spread throughout the entire Jiang family, and countless disciples gasped for breath. Sage. The legendary saint. The young chieftain is actually a holy land. The entire Dian dynasty, even the eastern wilderness, had only a few saints, and none of them were without the existence of a ceiling. If the Qin family had truly emerged as a saint. So the sky of the Great Flame Dynasty is about to change. At the same time, the ancestors of various families in Tianyan City, who were already in a state of shock, appeared in the sky, staring at the direction of the Jiang family in shock. This is the vision of a saint. That young man from the Jiang family is not a venerable one. He is not a divine fire. He is a saint. Oh my goodness, at the age of 17, the Holy Realm has never been heard of by the entire youth community. Hurry up. Bring my ancestral inheritance treasure, I'm going to worship the sage of the Jiang family. Separated by hundreds of thousands of miles. The Yin Dynasty, Imperial Capital. City in Jian, Stargazing Platform. The mysterious atmosphere lingers around the ancient statue, slowly rotating, sometimes transforming into beautiful mountains and rivers, sometimes transforming into figures stepping on the starry sky. My Emperor, there is a holy realm in Tianyan City, and the unity of the Tao triggers a strange change in heaven and earth. Who is it? Do people from Donghuang Holy Land break through here? No, according to the hexagram, this holy realm is only 17 years old and belongs to Tianyan City. Is it really fake, 17 years old? Holy Land. I observed the national fortune on the Big Flame Star Observatory, and the deduction methods of the three sects are absolutely impossible. There can be no falsehood. At present, I dare to assert that I know that many young people may be in the Holy Realm, but I am the only one who can be certain. Silence. Silent. Hurry up, let Huan go find him, make sure to sleep with him. It's not necessary to have a good relationship with this young man. I'll personally go to Tianyan City after I leave the level. My Emperor, you. Didn't you plan to let Huan communicate more with that kid Lin Dong before? That kid has mastered the path of devouring. He used to be okay, but now he's a chicken feather. My Emperor is wise. Dian Dynasty, Taiqing Palace. The deepest part of the sect. 17-year-old sage, brother, are you joking with me? Does the demon sect take over? Holy Realm Protector. Or the awakening of the reincarnation. It's all possible. Tang San, you go investigate this matter. It's best if you can make friends with him. If you can't, don't offend him. Just figure out if he's a holy realm. Me. Tang San, standing not far away, was stunned. I have this strength to investigate the holy realm. Why don't you ask me to kill the Supreme One? Oh my, you've always been lucky enough not to die. We old men will definitely make the other person suspicious when we go. You're all peers who are easy to talk to, maybe there's still a big chance. Wealth and fortune are in danger. Okay, then I'll go. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9, just a small character, Supreme. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yunxian Sect. Yao Chen thought for a moment when he heard the name, and then said with a strange expression, "Are you planning to go to the underworld again?" Upon hearing this, Xiao Ming smiled faintly and stood up with his hands down, saying, "I don't have many opponents there. This time, apart from a few years of peace of mind cultivation under the Yun Xuanzong, the most important thing is to meet someone and Nanming Lihua." As soon as he said this, Yao Chen was shocked and said, "Shenhua Nanming. Are you sure you're in the Cloud Xuanzong? The third divine fire on the current divine fire ranking. Nanming Lihua. This is a divine object that any strong person who ignites the divine fire realm can encounter and cannot seek." Xiao Ming nodded calmly. After receiving a positive response, Yao Chen regained his composure and asked with concern, "Are you sure there is no opponent or accident in Yunchuan Zone? Nanming Lihua is not a little treasure." He, Xiaoming chuckled in disbelief and confidently said, "Teacher, you can rest assured that there are any opponents among your peers in the land of Yunchuan Zone." He had been friendly with people since his previous life in the Yunchuan Zone, and he got along very well with everyone. The only one who could discuss with him, Yun Shuang, could not be considered an opponent. "I must say something." Xiao Ming remembered a figure and smiled, "He's just a small character. Even in my previous life, he was barely a match. In this life, he's not qualified." As he spoke, Xiao Ming couldn't help but think of his previous life when he was worshipped by the Cloud Xuanzong in the cave realm. At that time, the other party was already a master of the inscription realm, but because he was jealous of his relationship with Yun Xuan, he had been making things difficult for his inner martial brother. He smiled faintly. "Jiang Mubai, we are also considered old friends. Well, I'll teach you a lesson then." In this lifetime, his vision was no longer limited to a small great flame dynasty, so he had no hatred towards Jiang Mubai at all. The night is getting deeper. The bright moon shines in the sky. Jiang family. In a room, there is an elegant and brightly lit attic, with a screen depicting landscape and a red tent hanging lightly. Jiang Mubai sat upright on the antique wooden chair, pondering on today's events. After taking a sip of the spiritual wine in his hand, he quickly asked softly in his mind. "System, why am I being blocked by an invisible force when I am preparing to take over Yunchuan?" At the main hall of the Jiang family today, he initially wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to brush off the rising heavenly destiny value. But who would have thought of the appearance of the space movement symbol? At that moment, Jiang Mubai had already activated his killing intent, unleashing the power of the Holy Realm, but was weakened by an invisible force. Otherwise, even if Yun Shuang were a reincarnator, he would still be severely disabled if caught. Ding, return to the host. The daughter and son of destiny are both protected by the great fortune of this world. Upon hearing the system's response, Jiang Mubai tugged at his mouth and asked somewhat displeased, "Then it's impossible to kill. What's the reason for this damn thing? Let's forget about the daughter of fate. If you encounter someone who is obedient, it's not bad to arrest them and become a servant. What about the son of destiny? He doesn't have that kind of quirk. But doesn't the system mean he can't do anything with those destined sons? I have elevated their level so much, but the result is that I am told that he has great energy to protect his body and cannot be killed. This is not true. Ding, return to the host, just weaken the opponent's chi value to below 100 to kill chi yun value." How to weaken it? Ding, every time the host inflicts physical or mental damage on the heavenly destiny son/girl, it will reduce the opponent's chi value. How do I check the opponent's chi luck? The host can check the opponent's chi luck by consuming their heavenly destiny points. Each time, check the opponent's chi luck points, 100 points at the legendary level, 500 points at the epic level, and 2000 points at the mythological level. After hearing the answer, Jiang Mubai glanced at the remaining 3,100 points in his attribute panel and thought about it. The price was quite reasonable. Forget it, I'm not in a hurry for this moment or two. Let's check again next time we meet. Let's draw a lottery first to see if we can get some magic. Jiang Mubai's top priority now is not to check the opponent's chi luck, but rather his cultivation skills and insights into the Tao of heaven and earth. This is currently the most important thing. He doesn't want to let the daughter of fate slip away like he did today. System, lottery. Ding, it has been detected that the balance of the host's destiny value is 3,100 points, and there are 3 lucky draws available. Do you want to use all of them? Use all. Ding, congratulations to the host for their first lucky draw, winning the spatial magic, just a stone's throw away, nearby and endless. Spatial body techniques and divine arts level. Supreme level divine power mastery level. Beginner Level Introduction. Introduction, can break through spatial barriers and cross thousands of miles. Peak, can span thousands of miles in one step. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the complete enlightenment of the Holy Realm. Once. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining a functional destiny compass, which can locate the coordinates of the son/daughter of destiny by consuming destiny values. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 11, Schwanger, tomorrow you will personally go to the Jiang family. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On the other side, Yun Xuanzong. Starry Sky Hall. Humph. What about the peak of the Divine Fire Realm? In the past, my Yun Xuanzong had killed the Divine Fire Realm before, and besides, this son's cultivation background is strange. Perhaps it was the power of the demon sect that took it away, and his foundation is unstable. According to Elder Yu's description, his spiritual power is so strong that it's unimaginable, but he can't even break through space and chase people. I think it's very likely from external forces, and I agree with Elder Wang's statement. The brown-haired elder, who looked extremely majestic, spoke sternly. Not bad, as Mr. Yu said, this son is ruthless and even wants to take action to kill our sect's holy woman. We must not let him go. Even if he really steps into the true realm, he may not be able to kill us all before his spiritual energy runs out, said an elder with a look of death on his face. As soon as he spoke, the gaze of more than a dozen elders turned towards him in unison. On the main hall, Yun Shuang stood beside the old man with white hair and eyebrows, feeling extremely aggrieved. At this moment, she changed into a blue long dress, adding a touch of elegant beauty. She nodded heavily as she listened to the voices of the elders. Yes. Never let him go. That color embryo is so bad it's dying. Make sure to catch him. Immediately, she looked pitifully at the old man beside her. And this old man is the contemporary leader of the Yun Xuanzong, Yun Wuji. He appeared to be around 40 years old, like an ordinary middle-aged man, dressed in simple linen clothes, with a slight smile on his face, which made people feel a little uneasy. His calm gaze seemed to discern the heart, and he often wore inconspicuous linen clothes. Underneath his ordinary appearance, he concealed an extremely terrifying power. On the other side of Yun Wuji was Elder Yu, who seemed to be lost in thought. He had been scared before, but now when he regained his sanity and thought, it seemed like that was really the case. However, Yun Wuji's face suddenly changed and he was very excited, and then he made a gesture of opening his mouth that he had not seen in hundreds of years. Father, what are you? Yun Shuang noticed Yun Wuji's abnormality and asked. My ancestors informed me that there is a holy land in the Jiang family. It is very likely that it is that young man. This sentence was like a heavy stone hitting the bottom of the lake, leaving everyone stunned, even Yun Shuang's eyes widened. What? How could this be possible? Master, do you listen to this nonsense? A 17-year-old saint. Yes, my lord, did my ancestor make a mistake? Yun Wuji shook his head with a heavy expression and said, it's impossible. At this moment, the illusion of heaven and earth in the Jiang family cannot be fake. Even if he doesn't have the strength of the holy realm that Jiang Mubai possesses, then the Jiang family must have a strong protector of the holy realm, which is not something that our Yun Xuanzong can offend. As soon as this word was spoken, everyone in the main hall fell silent in an instant. The holy realm exists. Not to mention his Yun Xuanzong, even with all the power of the entire Dian dynasty, it is not enough for others to fight. And Yun Shuang took a step back, her face full of disbelief. Yun Wuji sighed helplessly as he watched Yun Shuang's loss of composure. Then he closed his eyes and whispered, Shuanger, tomorrow you will personally go to the Jiang family to apologize. No matter what the other party asks, you must not refuse. Just treat yourself as a sect leader. Upon hearing these words, Yun Shuang couldn't believe her ears. Her face instantly turned pale, and she looked at Yun Wuji incredulously. All the elders in the main hall have changed their previous attitudes and spoke in unison. Master, wise. What a joke. If it's the divine fire realm, forget it, sage. That's okay. At this moment, the protagonist who caused all this uproar has just received all the rewards. It seems that the system's ability to mask anomalies has disappeared. Jiang Mubai murmured as he felt the figures appearing one after another outside the house. However, he ignored it and instead focused his attention on the object in his hand. Destiny Compass. It is covered with dense ancient texts, and in the middle is a crystal-clear blue gemstone, emitting a holy aura. System, how many celestial values are queried for coordinates once? Returning to the host, legendary level 100, epic level 1000, myth level 5000, search for the coordinates of Xiaoming, the son of destiny. Jiang Mubai thought for a moment, but still chose to search for the destiny's son that still appears in about 6 months according to the plot. After all, if you're lucky enough to get close, you can also look for him on the way to Yunxian sect. Anyway, Yun Xuan can only run away from Yun Xuanzong, let alone his own strength has been exposed now. He knows that the leader of Yun Xuanzong is a smart person. Ding, check the coordinates of Xiaoming, the legendary son of destiny. Wang. The destiny compass began to rotate rapidly, and a lifelike map appeared above the compass, with a red light spot constantly moving forward. This is the realm of Yun Xuanzong. Do you think he's heading towards Yun Xuanzong? Oh my goodness, it's even easier. Ding, the host showcases the image of a saint to intimidate the members of the Cloud Xuanzong sect, causing cracks in the mental state of the daughter of destiny and obtaining 1000 points of destiny value. What? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 13. You wouldn't really think that this seat is interested in you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sun is shining brightly. In the deep mountains, less than 1,000 miles away from Yun Xuanzong. As the spark was drawn out of the clear and Yuan spirit fire, the huge blue flame in front of him gradually shrank, and after a moment, it turned into a small strand of blue flame that penetrated into Xiaoming's palm. Boom. His realm was shattered again. Inscription Peak. This is the origin of the Qingyu Yuanling fire. You can imagine compressing the terrifying energy absorbed for thousands of years into a magma bar the size of a thumb. If it were to completely erupt, what kind of destructive power would it be? Yao Qin stared at the green magma in Xiaoming's palm, which was like a worm, and whispered, with the demon beast inner pill you obtained earlier, you fused it in just one day. Speaking of Yao Qin, I couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. This is a strange fire. Even with the assistance of demon beast's inner pill, it's far from possible to be so fast. This little guy, it's simply too wicked. It's just a stroke of luck. Xiaoming gave a faint smile, then put on a black ruler on his back, and suddenly his figure moved. Appearing on a huge ancient tree, holding a branch in his mouth, looking at the breathtaking scenery in front of him, he felt great and exuded a strong sense of confidence throughout his body. He firmly believes that in this life, no one can stop his footsteps. Schwanger, I'll be here soon. Wait for me. And at this moment. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Dozens of figures shuttle below, and noisy discussions continue to ring out. Quick, fast, fast. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that the recruitment of disciples by Yun Xuanzong was advanced by half a year. It's really a worthwhile trip. Yeah, if we're lucky enough to sneak into a major sect like Yunxian sect, then we'll still worry about cultivation resources. On the ancient tree, Xiaoming frowned upon seeing this. How could there be any difference from the past life? Yunxian sect shouldn't have recruited disciples at this time. What's wrong? Yao Chen's figure appeared and he asked as he looked at Xiao Ming's unusual expression. According to my past life memory, Yun Xuanzong should not have recruited disciples at this time. The time was advanced by half a year. Xiao Ming said cautiously. Listening to Xiao Ming's answer, Yao Chen fell into deep thought. It seems that I have to go to Yunxian sect today. Yunxian sect. It's still that other garden. Sir, the task you instructed has been completed, and the news of recruiting disciples has spread. Yun Wuji respectfully whispered beside a young man. Jiang Mubai sat on the stone pier and calmly replied. This time, he asked Yun Xuanzong to recruit disciples in advance in order to attract Xiao Ming over, so that he wouldn't waste his destiny to check the opponent's coordinates until 6 months later. Save as much as you can. On the side, Yun Xuang, dressed in a goose-yellow long dress, was pouring tea for Jiang Mubai. Her thighs were faintly visible, and her delicate facial features were expressionless. By the way, if someone named Xiao Ming appears, let me know immediately. As soon as Yun Xuang said this, his hand on tea couldn't help but tremble. But Yun Wuji was momentarily taken aback, and then arched his hand to respond. Time passed by second, and when Jiang Mubai's gaze fell on Yun Xuang beside him, Yun Wuji wisely retreated. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. After Yun Wuji leaves. Jiang Mubai, what else do you want to do to Xiao Ming? If you still want to use Xiao Ming to coerce me, I can tell you not to use it. I can give you my body, isn't that what you want? I'll give you. After you're done, I just hope you let go of Yunxian sect, and I'll wash away the humiliation on my body with death. Yun Xuang bit and shouted while taking off her skirt, tears streaming down her face. In her opinion, Jiang Mubai simply wanted her body. Next second. Pop. The invisible palm slammed fiercely, flying the clouds and frost. She knelt down in the corner with a loud bang, her face tingling with pain, while she stood there in tattered clothes. Before she could fully recover, she saw a figure blocking the sunlight, and a hand gently lifted her chin, revealing a sunny smile. You don't really think this seat is interested in you, do you? So popular. Isn't it easy to want to die? But since you are so confident in your body, why don't I find a few strong men for you to be happy with? Upon hearing these words, Yun Xuang felt like a lightning strike. She looked at those calm eyes and could clearly feel that what the other person was saying was true. How could it be like this? Isn't she interested in my body? Yesterday's He Ding, the legendary daughter of destiny, Yun Daoxin, has once again appeared with cracks. Reward for destiny value. 500 points Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.